later. Okay. So, welcome to the Team Butterfly Effect All Hands Call. It is Friday, May 1st, and congratulations to me. I'm actually getting the date right. I get it wrong every week because it's the first of the month, and so we're all ready for the calendar to turn. And last week, I did the pre-recorded call, so it's going to be great to see people's faces live today. I highly anticipate as people start popping in. Oh, here comes another. To be able to see everybody. And if you went to the Fort Worth Super Friday last week, I highly honor you, as you had to be coming through tornado sirens and so on. So thank you for making that a priority. It shows that you're really invested and involved in your business. And just to quickly review some of the announcements that were made. If you were at the Fort Worth Super Friday, though, you didn't get to see the video because we had no power, but hopefully you watched the one that I posted for us earlier. But there was the announcement of size. So the new Shaun T dance workout is coming this summer, going to be released at Summit. Super, super stoked about this program. I'm sure I'm going to be running a challenge based on it. So FYI, the email collector is already out there for people who would be possibly interested. Also, the announcement of the performance line, which is going to be the whole new supplement line that we have been, that we're about ready to launch. And stay plugged into Amanda's page, because I know all the elite coaches got first dibs at getting to try it out, to be able to give some feedback. And so I know she got hers in the mail not too long ago. So hopefully she'll start posting and sharing about how that's working for her. So excited about that. So I'm going to go ahead and put everybody on mute who's on right now.
Daddy. Sorry.
No worries. Okay, so our speaker today, we do have a guest speaker. She has become a good friend of mine. She became a Beachbody coach in August of 2013. So when I sit back and I look at it, it doesn't seem like it's really been that long. For some of you, that may seem like an eternity, but for someone who's been around, I've been around since 2010. That doesn't seem like very long, and especially for the amount of success that she's had. Alicia Aiannettoni is currently a diamond coach. However, she's ranked #1 in all of Rockstar Presenters in regards to elite points. So what does that mean? She gets her coaches started right, and she gets them hitting Success Club. And she has an amazing story, and I'm so excited for her today to share with us her story and some of her best practices of what has gotten her to be in what, Alicia, are you in the top 100 now? Top 200?
101.
She's 101 in all of Team Beachbody. So we're excited to hear anything and everything she can share with us that will help us duplicate what she's doing. So Alicia, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you. And I have to say congratulations to Aubrey for 2-star qualifying. Very exciting. I know that weight is miserable. I don't know because I'm not there yet, but I'm assuming that weight is probably terrible, but I'm anticipating that I have to wait pretty soon for that.
You'll be there soon enough.
So I just want to start off by telling just my story. I know a lot of you have heard it already, but there are new people who haven't. So I'll try to give the abbreviated version so we can get to some other important things. So I got married in 2009. I had gained a lot of weight in college. I was really active growing up. I was into all sorts of sports and cheerleading and tumbling and competitive speed skating and such. So when I entered college, I had coming off a really bad knee injury in high school cheerleading. I had torn pretty much everything in my right knee, and I had surgery my senior year of high school. Going into college, I was still not back to where I physically could be working out and doing the physical activities that I was used to doing. So that paired with too much drinking freshman year of college and eating and just college in general, I ended up packing on about 25 pounds my first year. And over the next 3 years, that continued to climb. And I got really uncomfortable with myself. By the time I graduated college, I was not someone that I'd recognize. So, and I had another knee surgery in that time. And so there was just a lot of hurdles. Um, so after college, I ended up joining Weight Watchers, and I lost about 20 pounds, and I was feeling pretty good. And I immediately met my husband at that time, and we were married less than 2 years later. And they're happily married, and the weight starts to pile on, right? So I found out I was pregnant with my first child 5 months after we were married. Surprise! I gained about 30 pounds with that pregnancy, which wasn't terrible, but I was already my pants were already a little tight when we were married. So by the time I was pregnant, and had the baby, I was back to that same place that I was when I graduated college. So I was able to take off most of the weight, but those last few pounds, those last pesky pounds, as many of you moms know, are really hard to take off. And then 18 months later, my family and I moved from upstate New York, where I had my entire family and friends, to Fort Worth, Texas, where we knew no one. And about 6 months after we moved here, I found out I was pregnant again with baby number 2. So long story short, I had put on another 30 pounds with that pregnancy, and I was the heaviest I'd ever been. I'm only 4'9", and I weighed in at 166 pounds the day I delivered my daughter. So that was 9 months pregnant, but still 166 pounds was a lot. And I was really self-conscious. I suffered from a lot of postpartum anxiety and depression and yada, yada, yada. Long story short, I had been a fitness instructor prior to having my children, so I decided it was time to get back into the gym, just start taking classes and getting comfortable with being in front of a group of people again before I actually started teaching myself. So that's where I met Amy Ahmed, who's my coach. She was helping me get my footing in the door for teaching turbo kick, because I'd gotten certified and then got pregnant and never taught. So I was just getting my feet wet with turbo kick, and that's where I met Amy, and she invited me to try Focus T25. Now, going back a little bit, she also introduced the business opportunity, and I said, oh, I've heard about that and not interested. When I lived in New York, I was going to do my turbo kick training, and it happened to be with Christine Dwyer. And we got talking, and she had lived in Rochester, which was an hour and a half from my house in New York. And then she said she moved to Texas. So we got talking, and we had several emails back and forth, and she introduced the Beachbody opportunity to me. And I said, I'm not interested. Thank you. I met Melissa McAllister, who actually did my turbo kick training, and she introduced the Beachbody opportunity. And I said, I'm not interested. Thank you. So Amy was the third person to introduce the opportunity to me. And I said I wasn't interested, and a lot of that honestly was more my husband and my mom than it was me. It was something that I probably would have considered, and both of them immediately were like, nope, not happening, bad idea, no good. So I just started with the T25, and I insisted that I couldn't afford the Shakeology. I was a stay-at-home mom, and husband was the only one bringing in money. So, that was, I felt guilty asking for anything more than just the program. So we decided to do T25, and within the first few weeks, I had lost quite a bit of weight in inches. So people were coming to me and asking me how I was losing this weight. And I explained that I was doing this program. It's great. Go buy it from someone else, because I'm not a coach. And then about 5 people did that. And I said, well, that was really, really dumb. Like, that totally could have paid for my entire challenge pack. That's so stupid. So this time I went to my husband and I said, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. And I'm going to ask you to give me 6 months. Let's just see what happens in 6 months. If it goes nowhere, that's okay. Let's just try it. He said, do what you want. I want nothing to do with it. And I said, okay. So I became a coach, and within the first week, I had enough money to pay for my Shakeology. So I bought my Shakeology, my first month supply, and the rest is history as far as my personal story goes. I lost a total of about 60 pounds since the day I had my daughter. So I went from 166 pounds to around 106 pounds is what I'm typically at these days. So huge physical transformation. And honestly, that was the big jumping point for my business. When people started seeing me, who's always been, I've never been super tiny and thin. I mean, super tiny, but I was never a super thin girl. I was always, the bigger cheerleader. And just always kind of short and chunky was the way I described it. So to see this weight just kind of falling off of me, people were just all over me. How did you do this? And that, like I said, is just where my business really took off. So I continued to do several programs from there, which got me right where I am today. So that is my physical transformation story. My business, like Aubrey said, I started in August of 2013, and I had no intention of really working the business. I honestly didn't. My intentions were to make some money and enough to cover my Shakeology, because it was something that my husband insisted that was out of our budget monthly. So we said, if you want to do this, that's fine. And if you want to, make your money to cover your Shakeology, go for it. There we go. Okay, so I ended up hitting Success Club my first 3 months in business with no intentions of it. I was not messaging anyone. I was not working the business. People were coming to me, and I said, this is what I'm doing. Give it a try. And it happened to be that Focus T25 was on sale for like 2 of those months or something crazy like that. So it just happened to be good timing. And there is where I got my Success Starters ticket to Summit. And I said, you know what? Maybe I should look into doing something more than just what I'm doing. Maybe I should really work this as kind of a business. I've earned this ticket to this event. I'd like to go. And my husband's like, okay. He's starting to see some money coming in a little bit. And he said, okay, that's fine. If you want to buy a plane ticket and share a room with someone, that's cool. Whatever you want to do. So that's when I decided at Summit that this is it for me. I found my calling. I found a group of people that I don't have to censor myself. And I've always been someone who's never really had a censor. I need to be censored a lot of the time. I just say what comes off my mind. And people are always like, oh, geez, Alicia, you need to learn to censor yourself. And I never felt like I had to do that with this group of people. And this, I got goosebumps. The people that we're surrounded by in this community, you are free to be you. And I've embraced that. And I think in the last 2 years, that's really shown, and that's really contributed to my business. So that's pretty much my story. I have hit Success Club every single month in the business. I'm a Success Club 5 All-Star. I am 3 months away from being a Success Club 5 All-Star Legend. I am a Success Club 10 All-Star, and in December, I will be a Success Club 10 All-Star Legend, which is one of my huge goals, because very few people achieve that goal. It's hard, as you all know, to hit Success Club, and to hit Success Club 10 is a real challenge. So for me, that's a big goal of mine. I think some of my best practices, I am very consistent. I am not perfect in this business, as no one is, right? But I think one of the big things that I attribute it to is I am very consistent. So even on days that I don't want to get up and work out, I do it because I need to do it for me and for my health. And the same principles go towards my business. So even on days that I'm sick in bed and I have 2 children crawling on me, I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, 2 children crawling on me, I still show up. It might not be at my normal time. It might be something that I have to do after they go to bed, or I have to sacrifice cleaning the house a little bit, or other things that I would rather be doing, like watching Grey's Anatomy, the 2-hour last night that I missed. I chose to work today during that time. And that's something that I choose to do because it's important to me. So being consistent, showing up every single day, and by showing up every day, I don't mean that I am 7 days a week. These power hours are set. I have to be flexible, and I have to be willing to kind of just go with my life, because it's, life as we know it is unpredictable. So if I'm not able to work one day, that just means that the next day I double up. So that's the beauty of this business. You can really do it on your own schedule at your own pace. So being consistent has been a huge, huge factor for me. Everyone says it, the 3 vital behaviors, but honestly, they wouldn't be 3 vital behaviors if they weren't. So I might be a little different than a lot of people in my inviting. I don't sit down and invite 2 people every day. I know, crazy, right? Because that's what Beachbody tells us to do. I don't do that. I invite people um, when I have big challenge groups coming up. I keep a running list on my Mac. I live by the sticky notes app on my computer. I have, if you could see my screen, you'd see like 17 different sticky notes on my laptop, all different colors. And I just keep a running list. Anytime someone makes a comment on my posts, anytime someone messages me, I keep a running list. And then I do track it using Evernote. But for me, a quick glance on my laptop and my sticky notes tells me, and I highlight them, this is the person that I've talked to this week, or, a little notes next to them, this is who I need to speak to. So no, I don't sit down and invite 2 people every single day. What I do is I have a challenge group coming up on May 11th. Today I went through and I messaged 43 people to invite to my next challenge group. And as that list continually changes and grows, I'll take people out who have ordered, people who have said that now, I'll put them into my Evernote, and I'll, color code them to say not right now, but come back to them later. And then I can quickly glance back and say, this person's a customer, this person is not now, this person is a hell no, which means I'll come back to them someday, just not as immediately as I would the not now people, right? So that's kind of how I to go about my inviting. So no, I don't follow Beachbody's rules of 2 people to 5 people a day, but I am constantly planting seeds. I am constantly sharing on social media. I'm very, very consistent with posting both on my like page and on my personal page. I have learned to not vomit Beachbody on people, which was a big mistake that I made in the beginning. And I try to be very, maybe not as open and vulnerable as Aubrey, but I try really hard to be as authentic as she is, because that's what people grasp onto, correct? So the another thing, so that's what I do as far as inviting. Personal development, I'm going to be real honest, at the beginning, I didn't do it. I mean, I listened to a wake-up call here and there, but I was never consistent with it. And it probably wasn't until I joined the VIP group and we had book club every single month that it became a game changer for me. And now it's a non-negotiable for me. I read at least, or listen to at least 3 books a month. Some of them I'm re-listening to something. One of them is the book club book for VIP, and one of them is a book club book for my team. We do a book club as well now. So personal development is a non-negotiable. I get a lot of new coaches coming to me, and they come to all these objections. And before I answer anything, I said, are you doing personal development? I don't even answer the questions. Are you doing personal development? Because if you are, you probably wouldn't be coming to me with these things. So if you're coming to your coach, or you're thinking in your head all these excuses of why you aren't successful, just stop. When you're sitting on the toilet, pick up a book, or when you are riding in the car, or ladies doing your hair. We all know it probably takes more than like 3 minutes to do your hair, unless you're like me and do it like once on a blue moon. But you have 10 to 15 minutes in your day someplace that you can sit down and either listen to a book or you can read a book. So no excuses on that. And being a product of the product, that one obviously is a non-negotiable for me. I show up every day for my work, not every day for my workouts, 99% of the time for my workouts. And I'm really honest about my eating on social media as well, because that's my bigger struggle. I can work out all day, but then I will sit down on VIP calls and get a bowl of ice cream and go to town. So I'm honest about that, because that's where people struggle. 9 times out of 10, they can do the workouts, but nutrition is where people usually fall apart. So that's the 3 vital behaviors and how I live them every day. Another thing that I have done that might go against what you do or what you've heard top coaches do is I accept every single person who comes to me needing help, whether that means they already have a coach and they're not willing to switch, and they have a program and they don't want to buy anything else, whether they got the program off of eBay or Amazon, however they got a hold of a Beachbody product, if they're asking me for help and they aren't currently working with a coach, I mean, and by working, I mean their coach isn't running challenge groups or they have no relationship with them, whatever the reason may be, I always suggest, if you have a coach, you need to go to them first. But I'm not going to turn you down to help you, because I've been that lost person. And had Amy not found me, I don't know if I'd be here today. I don't know. You never know what the future holds for you, but just what if you are that one person that connects to that person and you're the one that changes their life, right? So I accept everyone, and 9 times out of 10, they will end up my customer with a challenge pack somewhere down the road, because you've gained their trust and they've learned how you operate, and it's a comfortable relationship for them, so they're ready to take the next step. I said it's like dating, right? So you are a little unsure in the beginning, so you're a little hesitant to commit, and you might flirt a little bit, but you're not ready to give up the goods, right? And then come couple dates or months down the road, and you're ready to give your all, right? So just keep that in mind as you're entering new conversations with new people. When you're, how do I say this? Your team is probably totally cool with, you're not going to give it up on the first date 9 times out of 10, right? So don't act that way in a sale either. Don't give all the goods at once. If they're not ready, you need to go at their pace. Just checking the time. We still have minutes. So I accept everyone. You need to be a positive person and have a positive attitude. I mean, I think that goes without saying, but believe it or not, I see a lot of coaches on social media who are like, life sucks and I got this and I got that. And I mean, life's not always roses and butterflies, but if you think that the world shits on you every day, no one's going to want help from you, right? So you have to find your balance of being a real person that has struggles and is willing to be vulnerable and share those struggles, and at the same time have a positive attitude and be an uplifting person. So don't be afraid to share. I said I just came back from Mexico, and then my mom was here for a week, and I've gained 6 pounds since before I went to Mexico. And 6 pounds on me is a lot, man. And I'm like, my pants are tight, and I feel like shit. I feel like ish. There's kids in the room. And, I made a post about that the other day. I'm like, dude, I need to get back on track. Who's going to help me here? Because I am struggling. So just be honest and vulnerable about the successes and the struggles. Grow your circle of people. A lot of people will ask me, well, where do you find people? How do you meet all these new people to get new challenge pack orders every single month? I do a lot of free groups. When I started my business, I did a ton of free challenges, at least 1 or 2 a month. And I did that for probably my first year coaching. Arm, ab, plank, squat, you name it. I did the challenges, and I invited everyone and their brother and their brother's cousin. And I told them they had to bring 3 friends in if they wanted to join the next one, if they've already done one with me, because you are only as successful as your growing circle of people, right? So the same 15 people that are reading your Facebook every single day, at some point you gotta stop asking, right? At least for a little while, they need a break. So if you don't have new people to reach out to every single month, your business is going to, because you've got nothing to grasp at. So I've been doing a lot of cheap ads, $20 ads for free clean eating groups, and 5 days. It takes like 3 minutes to automate. I made a video, one that I can use in every free clean eating group just to welcome them. It's a generic, hi, I'm so glad you joined us. It takes me literally 5 minutes to automate my clean eating group. I do nothing different. And all I have to do is check in with that group and see how people are doing every day. I had a coach sign yesterday. She's on day 5 of her clean eating challenge. I don't know this girl from a box of rocks. Never met her before. And I noticed that she had posted that her exercise was T25. And I was like, oh, I love T25. Great program. Blah, 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 blah. And then she said her sister drinks Shakeology. And I was like, well, why are you not a coach? And she was like, you're right. Why am I not? Let's go sign up. What the? She came from an ad, a free 5-day clean eating ad. You never know where your next person is going to come from, whether it be a paid challenger, a coach, you never know. So, I mean, growing your circle of people can be, I mean, I talk to everyone. I believe it or not, I don't shut up. Shocking. But in the grocery store, if I see someone putting something in their cart, I'm like, oh, I love that. I mean, this is how I make it. What do you do with it? Or if I see someone in exercise clothes, I'm like, oh, I love your sneakers. Where do you get them? What kind of workout do you do? Do you blah, 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 whatever. I talk to everyone and I will start conversations with anyone. My daughter's pediatrician's transcriber. She was wearing a pretty shirt. Oh, your shirt is so pretty. And somehow it got into, do you work out? The lady who started my savings account the other day was saying, oh, I love to run. Do you cross train? Because PIO is a great program for that. Did you know that PIO is a blah, 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 blah? And guess what? Sale after sale after sale comes from those people who are, you can randomly drum up conversations from out of nowhere. So build your circle of people, offer freemiums. Yoga phobia. I mean, Aubrey's great with that, her yoga phobia. Find your niche of what you can give for free. You don't have to be a nutrition expert. You don't have to be a fitness expert, but you can give something for free. Whether it's your time, whether it's a listening ear, whatever it is, you can give it for free. And that's where that relationship starts. That's the dating, right? And eventually we'll get to the home base, right? Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fail. I just made a video for my team right before I got on here. And I said, every single month, I'm coming into the start of the month and I'm like, oh, I have to do it all over again. I hit Success Club last month and I've added my coaches and now I'm at square one and I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to redo this? Screw that. I'm done with that thinking. I just posted my mantra for May up on my whiteboard right above my desk. And it says, I am unstoppable. I will crush my goals and I will change lives. Because I'm not going to go into the month every month starting with the thought of, I have to do this again. I'm going to say, shit, I get to do this again. Who can I help this month? Who's going to be my next, my coach just won, one of my coaches just won the Beachbody Challenge today. Who is going to be my next person that I can help lose 60 pounds? Because that is life-changing. So no more, I'm going to fail. How am I going to find people? Nonsense. Put it out there. The good is going to come and the good will follow. And you know what? I have huge goals of hitting elite this year. I have huge goals of hitting 2-star before a summit. Is it going to happen? Probably freaking not. As far as the summit goes, you bet your ass I'm still striving for elite. But am I going to be 2-star before summit? Probably not. But that doesn't mean I failed. It just means it's taken a little bit longer than I anticipated. But if I continue to be consistent and show up every day, it's going to happen. I said on the VIP call the other night, I might be 80 and with gray hair and in my walker when I'm 54. That's your ass is going to happen. So that's all I have for you as far as takeaways tonight. I tried to stay within my time limit. I can talk forever. I'm sorry.
Oh, Alicia, we appreciate it so much. And there's one more thing that we discussed that I want you to talk about. But before we get there, I just have a couple questions, if that's okay. Okay. So based on, you shared with us that you invited like 40 people today for your next challenge group. So will you then refocus then for the next couple? So next week will just be like complete follow-ups with just all of those people then all week long?
Yeah, for the most part, there'll be a lot of follow-ups. I will still continue to invite as new people come onto the scene. But I'm always looking ahead at what I have coming up. So right now, like my next challenge is May 11th. So I'm thinking, okay, I have a couple challenges going on May 11th. You know, what one would work for this person? And then the next one's May 26th. So as soon as I kind of get my head wrapped around this May 11th one, I'm going to look ahead to May 26th. Okay, what can I do to get the invites out for May 26th? So I don't stick to a day. I stick more to my challenge group schedule, and where I can plug people in best.
Awesome. Okay, I got another question.
Mm-hmm.
So based on your like page, you say you post regularly on your regular page and on your like page.
Mm-hmm.
Do you differentiate between the content of what you post where, and which one do you? So do you differentiate the content? Do you post in one place more than the other? And do you find you get more engagement on one than the other?
I definitely think I get more engagement on my personal page. The content is different. I post, I'm definitely more vulnerable and open on my personal page. More talking about my children, stupid things that I've done on my personal page. On my like page, I try to stick more to fitness, nutrition, recipes, with a throwing in here and there of my kids, funny stories, inspirational, that kind of stuff. I try to really vary what I put on there. I'm not as open and vulnerable in there as I probably should be. And I'm thinking that's probably why my engagement isn't as great. Um, but I also have much closer relationships with the people on my personal page than I do on my like page. I would say probably 80% of my like page are people I don't know, I've never met. So that's a little bit harder group to crack. So I post about the same as far as how often in both groups, about 3 times a day, 2 to 3 times a day in both groups.
Okay.
I used to
So
automate, and now I've tried to get more per moment posts, because I'm finding I'm a little bit more vulnerable and a little less robotic that way.
okay. So do you find then that you said that you share your vulnerabilities, like your struggle with nutrition? So that's just something you normally don't do on your like page. That's normally placed.
I do. I'll share that. But like, I shared on my like page that I had a really big scare with my daughter when she was first born, and that was really out of my comfort zone to post in that page. I guess because people don't know me, so you would think it would be the other way around. You think it would be a little easier to share that kind of stuff, but it was harder for me to share on that page than it was my personal page.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody else have any questions? There's one other thing I've asked Alicia to talk about that's real quick. Anybody else have any more questions before that? Okay, so only reason why I asked this, and I'm sorry we're going over, guys, but I think this will be valuable information. Remember how yesterday or a couple days ago in our VIP group, Amanda said, register for this training. And then I went and reposted it on Team B page. But as I shared with Alicia, I have a big event this weekend that I'm producing. And when I am producing a big event, I get manic focused on that. And so I reposted what my leaders told me to have my people register for, but I haven't had the time to research it. And she knows what's going down. So I've asked Alicia to speak on the Break the Bank training, or that Christine Dwyer, our upline great grandma up in the family tree of our organization, that she's launching. And so I've asked Alicia just to kind of share with us what's going on. So I appreciate that. Go for it, girl.
Yeah. So it's called Shake Your Rank, Break the Bank. Basically, she is asking all star diamonds and above, any star diamond, to at least put in $20 as a donation to the bank. So this collective pot. Anyone else is welcome to obviously donate to the pot, but you don't have to if you're diamond or below. She is putting in $10,000 personally to start this pot. Okay, so it's already a big pot. Now she has a big downline, 140,000 some odd coaches in her downline. So it's a huge group of people. Basically, what's going to happen as you hit Success Club and advance in rank, all these different things that we do for good in the business, you're going to earn, I guess, like tickets. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because this is my understanding, and I also don't have full knowledge of what's going on, but this is what I've been learning as I've read things, you're going to get these tickets, these virtual tickets or whatever. Your name will go into a hat or something. I don't know. And then for each of these like groups, you know, hitting Emerald, anyone who hits Emerald, and it's from now until the end of June. Anyone who hits Emerald during that time, your name will all go in a hat, and then, you know, she'll pick names and people will win money. I don't know the specifics as far as, you know, what the groups are and what the different like rewards are. I know it's for rank, I know it's for hitting Success Club, and that's all I know. So I don't know how things are broken down. All I know is it's not going to cost you anything if you choose it for it to not to. And you're going to get training. She's also going to send out training through the Platinum Presenters during this, a lot of webinars and stuff like that. So great things to build your business. Just another push. It's almost like the Team Cup in the fact that it's just, you're not doing anything different, but you have a chance to earn things, and it's going to motivate you more, right? So it's great for leaders, people who are building their teams, to get their team members, their new coaches in, to get them motivated and ready to take off.
Awesome. Alicia,
Once you get registered, do you get then a follow-up email? Did you get all this information from an email? Where do you...
I saw in the Platinum Diamonds, Christine has a Platinum Diamonds group. And in the Platinum Diamonds group, she had posted the information on it. So I shared that on my page. And that was just the video about how the challenge was going to be run. From there, if you want to donate money, you can send it to their PayPal. And there was just a link that click on. It's a Google form, honestly, for how you register for it. So there's no email back. You just sign up on this Google form. You don't get an email to confirm, but there is a Facebook group that you have to, you can choose to join, and she will approve you. Be warned that if your given name does not match your Facebook name, you're not going to get approved for that Facebook group. She mentioned that very clearly.
Awesome.
She said she's not going through to try to figure out who John Smith is if his name on Facebook is John Big Daddy Beachbody or whatever.
So from your understanding, is the majority of the information through the trainings and so on, we have to, we're getting through the Facebook group or actually through the Platinum Presenters website?
I think you're going to get an email from Platinum Presenters is what I was understanding. But I think the group is going to be more of like a challenge group, like an accountability share ideas.
And it's for the month of May?
I think it's May and June.
May and June.
I think up pretty much up through the end of June.
Okay. Great. Thank you for that information. I appreciate it so much. It would have been on my to-do list to research next week after I get through the weekend, but I appreciate you sharing that information and your knowledge with our team. So thanks so much to everybody. Huge thank you to Alicia for coming on. I always appreciate everyone who's live, but even appreciate those of you who listen and log in recorded. I know I got a lot of you guys who work and aren't getting off work for another 30 minutes to an hour to even be able to listen in. So thank you so much. We appreciate it, and have a great weekend. And if you're local and if you have time to come dance and shake it with me tomorrow night, come shake your ass. You'll be happy you did. Have a good weekend, guys.
Thanks, Aubrey.
Bye.